Be on the radio with Jerry Ramsey and Daniel Bell on 107.7 The Franchise.
Not really sure what this music is Ryan brought us back with. I told him specifically to not play country. But whatever. TV on the radio returns. Daniel Bell, Jerry Ramsey. We should have Nick Crain relatively soon. But we will be talking about the Thunder.
Love to all my exes live in Texas.
Oh, okay. All my exes live in Texas. Okay, I get it now. Okay. Thunder take on the Suns tonight, but another big game tonight, probably the biggest game of the NBA season, is Luka returns to Dallas for the first time this season in a matchup against his former teammates. And I am kind of intrigued to see what kind of reception he gets. It should be a very, very good one. Should be a standing ovation, obviously, for everything he did for the franchise. But fans aren't the smartest, and it wasn't so. But I would be extremely surprised if he does get booed. But this is an absolute must-win for the Lakers. You have 3 more chances to get 2 wins. And this is one where you absolutely have to, especially, you just want to get the win because you're a former team. And I hope Luka drops 50. But AD is also playing his former team, and that one's going to be very interesting because there's probably a little animosity between him because there now been reports that LeBron knew about the trade and didn't tell AD. So it's going to be a lot of intrigue for this game. Like I said, it's probably the biggest game of the NBA season. Do we have Nick Crain?
We do have Nick Crain on the franchise hotline. Nope. There we go. So
Nick got a higher voice.
There we go. Are we going to try the other one? Do that one. See what happens. Nope. We're going to go play around with Nick Crain and just say it.
Yes, Alvin, you can join me.
Alvin, if you will go help him real quick.
But like I said, I think this is going to be I thought you were going to go in there. Oh, okay, never mind. I think this is going to be a high intense game. It's probably the biggest game of the NBA season. The biggest game since the most anticipated game since probably LeBron going back to Cleveland. Do you think? The first time?
It could be bigger. And here's why. Not only that, this part of the season and both teams playing for something. And think about it, the desperation that Dallas is playing. Not only think about it, it's a road game for Nico Harris. That's what's going on.
Is he going to be there?
It's a road game for Nico Harris. And what do you do as the Dallas organization? Do you put a tribute video? He's one of the great. He's one of the greatest.
He's the
players.
second best player in your franchise.
Probably
he
so.
Could have been the first if you wouldn't have traded him.
Yep.
So maybe Dirk got him traded
to get him out of there. But it's such a unique situation. Obviously, what you said, KD coming back to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. These are probably the top 3.
But whenever KD came back to Oklahoma City, it was KD, the conquering pirate, who destroyed the Oklahoma City franchise, and they played like that. They killed the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then, same with Cleveland or whatever. Cleveland was gone, and they had to rebuild. Right now, Dallas is like, we gotta play to get in the playing game. Like I said, this is a way for them to beat the Lakers and to keep moving to try to make sure that they can get momentum to get to that 8 seed. There's a really good chance that they can end up being that 8 seed. So that's why I think it's a bigger. Plus, this time of the year is really big. Man, Nick, are you there?
I am here. How's it going?
Nick Crain.
I heard that you were trying to duck this call because you heard that you're going to be talking to me, and you're just so used to ducking the smoke with me on the basketball court that you wanted to duck it off the court also. That's what the intern said. I don't know.
No, I actually, when I jumped on and heard your voice, I'm pumped to chat now because I know the events going on in basketball right now are right up your alley, especially with the Lakers stuff. So this is perfect.
I do want to get into last night real quick. We can't go to the future until we look at the past. The last 2 games with the Thunder and the LA Lakers. It's a 1-point game before Luka gets tossed. Do you think that the Lakers, despite losing yesterday, kind of proved their point that they're going to be a problem in the West if Oklahoma City runs into them?
Yeah, I think they're going to be a problem in the West for anybody, frankly. You consider what they've shown us of late in the regular season, and then you consider the fact that LeBron and Luka are both historic playoff players, like by every meaning of the word, they're definitely going to be a problem. There's no doubt in my mind. I do still think that the Thunder would win that series, but I'm at a point now where if you ask me which team would they like to avoid as long as possible, I think it's the Lakers, and it's very, very clear at this point. Not just because of what I've seen these last two games. I know the Lakers have struggled the past 10 games. I think they're 4-6 in their last 10. But the signs and the highs that you see from this team are very, very evident. Like, the Lakers are real.
All right, and then you look at it, and it's by the way, it's Nick Crain joining us from Thunder SI. I'm sorry, Daniel. Do you want to talk to him?
Yeah, you said you're going to reset.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So then let me ask a question. But Nick, with the way the Thunder have been playing and kind of been a little lackadaisical on the defensive end, the only difference between yesterday and Sunday's game was they hit shots and did play 5 minutes of great defense to win that game. But outside of that, they've been coming into these games a little bit less intense, less engaged, not having the physicality or anything. You think that's something that for fans to worry about? Because fans are starting to talk about, like, my antennas are now up with how the Thunder are playing. Or do you think the Thunder are just in a situation where, like, I mean, the season's pretty much over for them and they're not really playing for anything outside of trying to get that overall number one seed?
Yeah, I don't have any concern with it. I mean, we've got a sample size of almost 70 games now, and 60 to 65 of those, the Thunder has been an all-time great defense. I do think that there's no irony in the fact that the last 2, 3, 4, 5 games, even going beyond the Lakers miniseries, even looking back to Houston and the couple games before, Mark is clearly not running the same schemes he did all year. I do think there's something to be said about the lack of intensity and effort at times from individual players in the Thunder, but a big element of the defensive collapse. Again, the Lakers and the Rockets, both teams that can pop you no matter how good your defense is playing. But Mark is not running the schemes that he's going to run in the playoffs. He's not running a lot of the schemes that we've seen in the regular season that has built this historically great defense. So, am I concerned? No, I think it's all part of the bigger picture.
All right, let's focus there on Luka Doncic and the LA Lakers. And obviously, like I said, you live down in Dallas. You do a lot of stuff with the Oklahoma City Thunder, but you're not going to get away from the probably biggest game of the year going on down there. The hype with the Mavericks and the Luka trade is it's off the charts. It's dramatic. It's a made-for-TV movie. What, if you're Dallas, do you do with Luka Doncic? Do you give him a tribute video? Do you lay it all out there? Do you give your fans a chance to really start getting ticked off at the organization at the beginning of the game?
Well, I mean, they've already announced what they're doing, and it's kind of embarrassing, if I'm fully honest with you. The Mavs are not doing themselves any favors. The tribute video, I think, makes sense, right? Like, this guy did a ton for the franchise in his 7 years there. He deserves a tribute video. But the shirts on the chairs, like it's a playoff game, I couldn't think of a worse move. It's like you're giving the fans more reason to be pissed about what you did. It's like throwing the biggest, most elaborate funeral for somebody, and the person planning it was the killer. Like, the Mavs are trying to spin this as a thank you, Luka, as if, like, they're thanking him for all he did, and it was unfortunate he had to go. Like, Mavericks, you guys did this. You traded him. I just think tonight is going to amplify the situation in a negative way. Fans are going to be pissed. We're going to see the craziest shirts that people are wearing into the game saying fire Nico. I hope for Luka's sake, because he did so much for the city, that it's a warm game for him, and obviously the fans still love Luka. But I think it could get pretty ugly otherwise from the fans that are in the arena and then even the fans outside of the arena. And the Mavs are not making it any better with their game day plans.
I mean, for the game, do you think the Mavs are or have a chance to, because big men, I mean, size-wise, the Lakers can't match. I mean, there's nobody in the league that can really match up against AD anyways, and then you throw in the other guys. There's Lakers that can't match them. But on the wing, between Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Luka, there's nothing that the Mavs can do to match that, especially without Kyrie. So, like, how do you expect this game to go? Like, do you feel like the Lakers are gonna, especially after Lakers feeling like they got cheated a little bit last night with Luka getting tossed from that game? Do you think they're gonna come in with a lot of animosity? They're gonna rally around Luka, especially with LeBron, who's somebody that's kind of been in this situation. And like Luka's going to give us 50, a special performance, or do you think the Mavericks are going to be pretty competitive in this game?
I think it's an interesting one where all eyes are going to be on Luka. The underrated part of this is Anthony Davis is also playing against the Lakers, of course, for the second time, or the second time that he's been on the Mavs roster at least. Obviously, it's in Dallas, so the spotlight's on Luka. I could totally see a world where the first quarter, the Lakers are running additional sets for Luka, and Luka's taking a higher volume of shots, and the emotions are high. And that could go one of two ways. That could be Luka absolutely torching the Mavs in the first quarter for 25 points, and they're already up double digits. That could also mean the Lakers aren't playing their style of ball because they're forcing things to Luka. So I think the first quarter is going to set the tone one way or the other. But I think in the long run, despite Dallas having all the size that they do, I just think this is a game that, if I was a betting man, I feel pretty good about the Lakers coming out on top.
Is there any way you can run down to the American Airlines and snag me one of those shirts? Those look good. That's a good-looking shirt there, Nick.
That would be the ultimate troll move that I would expect from you, Jerry, is rocking these shirts that are going to have so many eyeballs on them. These are going to be like memorabilia that people hold on to, not because it's cool, because it was Luka's return, but of just how bad of a PR move the Mavs made by putting those shirts out.
I'll be fully transparent. What I would do with the shirt, I would go give it to the guy with all the tattoos that got Luka kicked out yesterday. That way he has...
does say thank you.
Yeah. And so he'd have something to wear next time Luka showed up. Before we let you go, Nick Crain from Thunder SI, really super appreciate your time and the patience to deal with the unprofessionalism that we've treated you with today. I feel so bad about it. But you're talking about laying a bet. I believe there's some books that you cannot lay a bet on SGA as MVP. And it had nothing to do with Jokic in his game, but the fact that he doesn't have a coach anymore, does that play into Shea basically wrapping the sucker up?
I mean, it's been wrapped up. I think, like to your point, some sports books have taken it off. The sports books that still have it, it's anywhere from minus 4,000 to minus 10,000. I mean, you have to put down a couple of mortgages to even make $100 on him winning. It's over. I think it is kind of funny. If this was still a race, I don't know if there's ever been an MVP in history that has had their coach fired during the season, especially this late in the season, because that generally indicates things are not going super well relative to expectations. But yeah, this thing is over. You could start making the MVP shirts. I'm sure the Thunder have started making promotional materials and videos. SGA is the MVP at this point. It's just a formality that the league announces it.
All right. You got one more? Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I was just wondering when we can get you back up here to get another hoop session going.
I plan, Daniel, I'm glad you asked. I plan on coming in for game one, which will be April 19th or 20th, which falls on a weekend. That's perfect. That'll be Saturday or Sunday. I'll commit to you on the air now. I'll give you a 20-piece on the off day that game one is not on that weekend.
Don't make him happy like that because he really thinks you're talking about McNuggets. So
when you say 20-piece, the first thing my mind goes to is wings, not nuggets.
Okay, well, I saw him get really happy about it, and I don't think he really understood that you meant 20 points on him, okay?
Well, yeah, because Nick has only scored
okay, all right,
twice in the 3 times we played against each other, and the one time he played well was when he was on my team.
Nick, I apologize about that, Nick. Thank you for joining us, though. Nick Crain, appreciate it, man.
All right, Nick.
See ya. Nick Crain from Thunder SI. Super appreciate him joining us.